Hello everyone, I welcome you all. Now in this video lecture, we'll be looking towards the topic earth retaining structures. Earth retaining structures. Basically it is called as retaining wall. Now retaining wall may be a structure that will be used to retain earth or water or any other material. Now dam is nothing but a type of retaining wall which retains the water on its upstream side, whereas retaining wall is provided to retain the earth, and hence the earth which it retains is called as backfill. Retaining wall, basic example of retaining wall you can consider as dams, and where water is retained on the upstream side, and that is nothing but example of retaining wall. And in this topic we are supposed to learn and design retaining wall so as to retain the backfill or say earth. Now what is backfill? Backfill is the material retained by retaining wall or structure. It may be horizontal or inclined. And second terminology is surcharge. If external load acts on the backfill, then it is known as surcharge. If external loads act on the backfill, then it is known as surcharge. Let's have a look by example. Now consider these two retaining walls. This is the retaining wall. This is also retaining wall. Now in one retaining wall, water is stored or retained on the upstream side. Water is stored or retained on the upstream side. This is nothing but upstream side, and this is the downstream side. Hence, where water is retained, it is called as dam. And in this topic, we are supposed to learn the retaining wall so as to retain earth or say backfill. Now what do you mean by backfill? Backfill is nothing but the soil which is retained on the backside of the retaining wall. This is nothing but backfill. The soil or earth which is retained on the rear side of the retaining wall is nothing but backfill. And second term is surcharge. Now what do you actually mean by surcharge? Surcharge is nothing but the external load that is acting on the backfill. Surcharge is nothing but the external load that is acting on backfill. It may be UDL or UVL. Surcharge may be UDL or UVL. UVL is nothing but uniformly varying load. UVL is nothing but inclined surcharge, and inclination is at an angle say theta. This is the basic terminology. Backfill, the soil which is retained on the rear side of the retaining wall. Surcharge is nothing but extra load that is acting over the backfill, and surcharge may be UDL or UVL. UVL is nothing but inclination for the surcharge at an angle of theta. Now, when this case may occur, backfill with surcharge. Backfill with surcharge. Now, example of this case you can consider as if retaining wall is provided at the basement portion. If retaining wall is provided at the basement portion and it is supposed to retain the earth. Now this is the simple case, retaining wall with plain backfill. But when parking of the vehicles is to be provided above the backfill, then it will act as UDL. Hence it becomes backfill plus surcharge. And when this case will occur, backfill plus inclination, this case basically occurs in hilly areas. Basically in hilly areas or mountainous areas, backfill with inclination, that is backfill with surcharge at an angle theta occurs. This case occurs when retaining wall is provided on the sloping ground or say in the hilly areas. And as you know, nature of the mountain is in this manner, and hence if retaining wall is to be provided here, it will be sustaining the backfill with inclined surcharge. Now, backfill is provided in the following cases. These are the cases when backfill is provided. When embankments are involved in construction, generally retaining walls are constructed. In construction activity, when embankments are required, retaining walls are constructed. Basically, you may see a retaining wall is constructed when basement is to be provided for the upcoming building structure. When excavation is done and basement parking or say basement construction activity is to be carried, then retaining wall is provided surrounding so as to retain the earth surrounding it. Construction of bridge work or wings. Now you may see when bridges are provided, abutments are required for that and approach roads are required. And at that time, so as to retain the approach road up to the bridge, retaining walls are provided which are precast in nature so as to retain the filling into it. Construction of brickwork or wing walls and abutments are designed as retaining walls so as to resist the earth pressure along with the superimposed load. Superimposed load is nothing but live load acting on the backfill. Now these are the cases. If this is your bridge deck, then retaining walls are provided here so that to achieve the level of the bridge, we are supposed to fill up earth material here. And this earth material filled here will be retained by this backfill from spilling off. Whereas if this is the river, this is the flow of the river, then wing walls are provided here. These are the nothing but wing wall, first, second, third and fourth. Now why these wing walls are provided? Due to this water flowing, erosion of this bank should not take place. And erosion of this abutment which is provided to the bridge should not take place. Hence these wing walls are provided which will redirect the water into the mainstream. This is the main purpose of the wing wall, and this wing wall is nothing but type of retaining wall. Now these are the straight wing walls and these are splayed wing walls. Straight are nothing but at an angle of 90 degree and at some inclination wing walls are provided which are called as splayed wing walls. And third, construction of buildings having the basement retaining walls are constructed. You may also call it as paddi. In local language, we call it as paddi construction when basement is provided. That is nothing but type of retaining wall. Now as seen previously, let us have the look towards the basic terminologies. Backfill. The material retained or supported by a retaining wall is called backfill. This is the backfill and this is the backfill with inclination. And second, surcharge. The position of the backfill lying above the horizontal plane. This is the horizontal plane, and position of the backfill lying above the horizontal plane means lying above this plane at an elevation of the top of the wall is called as surcharge. Means whichever load which is acting over the top of the backfill, that will nothing be surcharge. And surcharge angle beta. Previously we have considered angle as theta, you may consider as beta also. Surcharge angle beta, the inclination of the backfill with horizontal is called as surcharge angle. Now if this is the horizontal and this is the backfill with an inclination nature, then angle with respect to horizontal is nothing but beta. Hence this is called as surcharge angle beta, and this is the ground surface at an inclination, and this is our retaining wall. Here it is backfill. Now we will move towards the types of the retaining wall. Now retaining wall is basically divided into four types. It is basically divided into four types. First one, gravity retaining wall. Second one, cantilever retaining wall. Third one, buttress retaining wall. And fourth one, counterfort retaining wall. Basically retaining wall is divided into these four types: gravity, cantilever, buttress and counterfort. Now let us see a brief description of these types of retaining wall. Now this is gravity retaining wall, first one. In this type, the earth pressure exerted by the backfill is resisted by the dead weight of the wall only. Materials, masonry or mass concreting is done so as to construct the gravity retaining wall. Stress developed in these walls are very low. These walls are so proportional that the no tension is developed anywhere and the resultant of the forces remain with the middle third of the base. Second type of retaining wall is cantilever retaining wall. The cantilever retaining wall resists the horizontal and vertical pressure by the way of bending of various components acting as cantilever, hence called as cantilever retaining wall, because three components of this cantilever act as different components resisting the bending moments. Hence, commonly used cantilever retaining wall is T-type retaining wall. Wall consists of stem, heel and toe slab. Stem, heel and toe slab. Each of these bend as cantilever about B, hence it is called as cantilever retaining wall. According to the bending action, the reinforcement is provided on tension side. Now let us have a look. These are two cantilever retaining walls. This is T-shaped and this is L-shaped. T-shaped retaining wall and L-shaped retaining wall. These are the types of cantilever retaining wall. Now this portion is called as toe, this is called as heel slab, and this vertical portion is called as stem slab. Now this retaining wall is similar to our foot, hence it is called as the front portion as toe, that is toe slab, and rear portion as heel slab, and vertical component as stem slab. Now why it is called as cantilever retaining wall? Because all these three components, that is toe slab, heel slab and stem slab, are cantilever. Cantilever means one end is fixed and other end is free. If you consider this toe slab, this one end is fixed and another end is free. If you consider this heel slab, this left hand end is fixed and another end is free. Whereas if you consider this vertical stem, the bottom portion is fixed and the top one is free. Hence, all three components, that is toe slab, stem slab and heel slabs, are cantilever in nature. Hence called as cantilever retaining wall. And in this case, if this L-shaped retaining wall is considered, this heel slab is cantilever where left end is fixed, and if you consider this stem is also cantilever where bottom portion is fixed. Hence called as cantilever retaining wall. Now if you consider this backfill, lateral and vertical downward pressure will be applied on these components. Due to this backfill, lateral pressure on the stem and vertical downward pressure on the heel slab will be applied. Hence, this will be the bending nature of the retaining wall, where heel slab will bend downwards, toe slab will bend upwards and stem slab will bend outwards. This is the bending nature of the T-shaped retaining wall. Please keep it in mind that due to external pressure acting, lateral pressure will be acting on the stem, downward pressure will be acting downwards, hence it will bend heel slab in downward position or this pattern, where compression is developed at this area and on the top fibers tension will be developed. Whereas in case of toe slab, tension is developed at bottom and compression is developed at top. And in case of stem, compression will be developed on outer side and tension will be developed on inner side. And as you might be knowing, reinforcement is provided so as to carry tension, whereas concrete is sufficient so as to carry compression. Hence, wherever this tension occurs, main reinforcement will be provided in that region. Hence, in heel slab, main reinforcement is provided in this top portion. In toe slab, main reinforcement will be provided at the bottom, whereas in stem, main reinforcement will be provided on the inner side of the slab. This is nothing but T-shaped retaining wall and L-shaped retaining wall. Now third type is nothing but buttressed retaining wall. Now what do you mean by buttress? Now if this is T-shaped retaining wall, this is the vertical stem, this is the heel slab and this is toe slab, then say this extra buttresses are provided on the opposite side of the backfill. On the opposite side of backfill, these extra buttresses are provided so as to resist the load. Hence these buttresses are nothing but counter force. Hence these buttresses are nothing but counter force, called as counter force. Whereas in buttressed retaining wall, backfill is resisted on the opposite of the counter force, hence called as buttressed retaining wall. This is the heel slab, this is vertical portion, this is the toe slab, and in case of buttressed retaining wall, counter force are provided in the opposite direction of the backfill, or you can say backfill is on the opposite direction of the counter force provided. This is nothing but buttressed retaining wall. And the last one is counter force retaining wall. Now counter force and buttressed retaining wall are somewhat similar, but the basic difference is position of the backfill. Now let us see through this diagram. If this is the toe slab, this is heel slab and this is the backfill. Now basically where backfill is placed, below that portion will be the heel slab and opposite one will be the toe slab. And in this counter force retaining wall, these counter forces are provided, but the main condition is that backfill is on the side of counter force. and opposite direction will be free. This is nothing but counterfort retaining wall, where backfill is provided on the side of counterfort itself. Whereas you might have seen, or you have seen in the previous, that in case of buttress retaining wall, this backfill is provided on the opposite side, that is on this side. That is nothing but buttress retaining wall, and in this case backfill is provided on the side of counterfort itself, hence called as counterfort retaining wall. In this way, we have seen the basic introduction towards the retaining wall, its basic terminologies such as backfill, surcharge angle beta, types of retaining wall, that is gravity retaining wall, cantilever retaining wall, buttressed and counterfort retaining wall, and also we have seen in which cases retaining wall is to be provided. Now you can go through the notes. Link for the notes is provided in the description box. Thank you very much.